Think of your business as a funnel. If you want to weaponize your content, make sure all your content aligns with your ROI, and that when somebody's at the keynote, you drive them to the breakout. From the breakout, you drive them to engage you for an internal workshop. And then when you're pitching the internal workshop, make sure that you have the online part of it so that you can keep that business going. And then you've got that vendor lock because they're going to keep hiring you to do that internal training because everybody knows who you are because they've all taken your online program when they came on board. 99.9% of the world is not going to buy your book. So take that book and blogify it. Take parts of your book and recycle that into your blog. If you've written your book for your specific clients, then you're really just taking it from one medium into another. You have to acknowledge that not everybody's going to buy your book. And if they haven't bought if your book's been out for 2 years, they haven't bought your book, they're probably not going to buy your book. So focus on reusing that content and putting that content to work for you so that it's still valuable for you. Now, if you haven't written your book, and I talked about this earlier, when you're writing a blog, if you want to put a structure behind your blog, you can write your book in reverse. So I have a couple of clients, and what they've done is they've set up categories in their WordPress blog, and those categories are actually for the chapters of their book. So they're writing their book in reverse. So at the end of the year, if they're writing once a week on a specific topic related to one of the categories, at the end of the year, they can export all that content, give it a light rewrite, and there's their book. That's how I wrote my book. What is, if you're speaking and you want to sell your book, if there's 500 people in the audience and you're humping around a box of books across country, there's going to be a lineup at the end of your speech at the back of the room. 20 people are going to be in line. 5 or 6 of them are going to get their books, and the rest of them are going to go, I'll just order it. And then how many of them order it? None, right? They leave the room, they forget about it. It's lunchtime. Everybody wants to be a podcaster. Everybody wants to be a podcaster. The truth is, there's more podcasters than there are people that listen to podcasts. Everybody wants to start a podcast. I said earlier, if there was a podcasting guy here, there'd be a lineup outside, everybody wanting to see it, even though they have nobody to listen to their podcast. Pointless. But it isn't pointless if you are strategic on your podcast. If you've got knowledge, if you've actually structured a training program, or you've structured a keynote program or a breakout session, you can do an online course. They are easy. The technology is so simple these days. If you're making a pitch to an association or an organization to speak, a lot of times they want you to do a video. So what do you say? I'll do you one better. I'll give you a full 35-minute webinar or 40-minute webinar for your members ahead of time. That helps them, but it also helps you. It'll gin up the interest in people coming to your session. And the people that are coming to your session already know what you're all about. So you're not some mystery speaker who just happens to be there that they can go see. Yeah. I remember when I first started with this, the big thing would be, we're going to do a webinar. And then we'd schedule a webinar, and then the guy I was working for would pray to God he didn't get hired to work that day. Right? And you don't care if only 20 people show up to your webinar because it's running all the time. I have my webinar. I use a tool on my WordPress blog, an ad inserter plugin, which is meant for Google Ads, but I actually drop the embed code to sign up for my webinar after the 5th paragraph of every one of my blog posts. So anybody who comes to my blog posts, they have an opportunity to sign up for my webinar. I'm totally frustrated. I was like a lot of you guys. I was writing blog posts. I get right to 10th, the 11th drops off, nobody ever sees it again. This is a great way. If you've got great content you're proud of, just keep pumping it out there. You never know who's going to see it. You never know when it's going to catch fire. And then when people come back to my site, guess what they see on my blog post? Well, they can sign up for my webinar. And then they take the webinar. There's the very first call to action. Hey, you can go to Amazon and buy my book. Book 30 minutes with me. Buy my course. It's all there. It's just they're just making that funnel. But the user experience changed. And I just made it easier for people to sign up for the course, to buy the course, to share the course. I created little videos. It's like, hey, you're an affiliate. Here's how it works. Because how many of you know how to be an affiliate? Probably not many. But here's a little video that's 30 seconds on my site. It's like, hey, you're an affiliate. Here's how you can get started. It's just the genius way to do these things. It just really is simple, simple stuff that anybody in this room can do.